Welcome to the Oval. I am your main host, Claudine Bellany. As you can see, our backdrop has been red all month in honor of Women's History Month. Red is the national symbol for both women and heart disease awareness. And it serves as a reminder that heart disease is the #1 killer of women. On today's show, our hot topics include a racially charged hate crime and tweets regarding cultural appropriation. We will also be talking about Meninism and Sesame Street's newest character, Julia, and her important role in representing all children. Please welcome my amazing co-host.
I'm Talea, and today I'm bringing you some food for thought. I'm Jasmine, and today I guess I'll bring you some snacks.
I'm Johnny, and today I'm bringing some childish food.
Hi, I'm Megan, and today I'm bringing the contradictions.
Today, starting with Johnny. Johnny Brown, please introduce the new kid on the block on Sesame Street.
So Sesame Street just announced a couple of weeks ago that they're going to have a new character. Her name is Julia. And what's amazing about her is that she's actually a 4-year-old with, who's on the autism spectrum. What's so amazing about it is that 1 in 68 children is diagnosed on somewhere within the autism spectrum. Sesame Street being a show that was originally for but for children of lower incomes that couldn't afford, like higher cable vision or anything like that, and just to show representation of all children. It's just amazing because they're just being very inclusive, and I love the way they introduced the character, like Big Bird.
Mm-hmm.
Big Bird thought that the character didn't like her, and then Elmo says no, she just doesn't always talk the same way, and sometimes it takes us a little longer to do. It's just so cute because it's just like a kid out there with autism maybe watching it, maybe understanding it, but oh wow, like. Julia's like me, like it's so cool, like, and and especially also for parents as well, but like I can see my child represented in that show. I just think it's really beautiful.
And other children who, might come in contact with someone with autism and they might not understand. So now they're seeing it on Sesame Street, and now they might know how to better communicate with that person.
Yeah.
Yes, I also wanted to add, in CDC, there's a quote in there where they have something. It was called 1 in 68 U.S. children has autism spectrum disorder, according to the report by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. A 2014 report by the CDC estimates that 1 in 42 boys has autism, 4.5 times as many as girls. 1 in 189.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
A lot.
I read up on this topic too, and they said that Sesame Street actually brought in specialists on the autism spectrum. So they would treat the character Julia as children of that age would see autism. So like you were saying, when, she's just a little bit different. That's how a 4-year-old sees autism. And it really allows children to understand what they're seeing.
That's what I was going to, just going off of that, I was going to say that the producers of the show, they came out with a statement saying, listen, I know this, that she's not a representation of every form of autism, she's a very small fraction of it, but at least we're getting the conversation out there, and people are getting, people are getting a display of it,
Yeah.
It was great.
Well, I just want to say we should just thank the Sesame Street and the Corporation of Public Broadcasting for everything they have done for us, because I grew up on Sesame Street.
Oh, same.
And
Sesame Street.
Had to get to Sesame Street. That's me. I love it. So I want to say thank you, for that, in case they do watch our show. Any other intakes on Sesame Street? New kid on the block?
I can't wait to watch.
I know.
Okay. All right.
Now apparently they're introducing a new character whose dad is incarcerated.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm like, Sesame Street is making some big moves.
They're getting snaps to
indeed. Wow, that's awesome.
That's good. Okay, let's switch up to new topic. Jasmine, please fill us on this crazy racist dude.
All right, so I got a lot of tea to spill right now. So James Harrison Jackson, he's a 28-year-old white male from Maryland. He was actually a veteran, and he was a military intelligence analyst. So he traveled from Maryland all the way to New York City to target black men
I did see that.
to perform hate crimes on black men.
Do you know why?
Because he's racist.
Yes,
Because he wants to. Okay.
According to what
That's a reason.
He's sick, psychotic. That's what he is.
Every white male who does anything is sick as psychotic.
He basically, right, I totally agree. He says
Fair
like,
enough.
he had a problem with white men dating, no, he had a problem with white men dating black women, some craziness. Like he had
Interracial couples, basically.
pretty much.
That's insane.
Another Dylan Roof in our hands. No, I mean, come on, this is ridiculous.
I also think it's ridiculous that the media was focusing on the fact that a white man killed a black man who did all this bad stuff in his life. You know what I mean? They were focusing on the victim is not a victim.
He was 66 years old.
He was 66. He's just a little old guy trying to live his life.
When I was like
come
researching
on.
it a little more, the 66-year-old black man who thought I wrote his name. Oh, I did. Timothy Caughman, because a lot of times with people of color who are victims of hate crimes, they don't get their names put out there. So I wanted to make it like a thing to say his name because we need to. But he's 66 years old. He actually walked to a precinct to get help, went to the hospital, and then died.
And you saw the knife that he used?
But like,
Yes.
also,
Oh
no
my
one else helped him.
I mean,
If
New
he
York City is
was-
a busy place. People are busy.
People mind their own business in New
Yeah,
York
they
City.
don't
Okay.
really.
You know,
to get involved.
You know what's?
I mean, if somebody's at
You know what's
stabbed,
crazy?
then see it.
Actually, after he did that, he went to tell the police.
Yeah, he confessed.
He confessed it.
He
Oh,
was
I
like,
just
yep. He was like, I have the knife on me if you wanna, and like the police.
Yep.
Oh
Right.
my God.
So I took the knife
Okay.
out.
So, do you think it was media attention?
Maybe it was.
Oh.
Maybe this was
That makes a lot of sense.
a little what you call it,
Media
like,
attention.
a little sign. He just set off a little rampage.
Well,
We don't know.
If he's like going to the media saying like, "Hey, look what I did,"
Yeah, like,
I'm
so
so cool.
openly.
No,
But then,
that's-
like, even when he's
don't get
doing
your
that, the
attention.
media's just like, oh, the sick man.
Yeah,
blah,
like,
blah.
no, he's
like,
not sick.
You know, they're,
Yeah.
and it's just, you
He's
know, they're
just not
saying,
a good
oh,
person.
it's,
He knows what he's doing.
he's, you know, racist, or no, like, they were saying that he's, that it's like white supremacy and all this stuff. And like
Right.
people are saying like it's
Right.
not only white supremacy, it's also an act of terrorism
It is
Yeah.
an
on
act
the
of
black
terrorism.
community.
Yeah.
And like you need to start
Call it
acknowledging
what it is,
that.
domestic terrorism.
Yeah.
You know,
Because
like,
if it was the other way around, this would be all over.
Yeah.
This would be a big deal.
Yep.
But
it's like with things like this, is like when you think of terrorism, you know, people, oh well, overseas, you know,
Yeah.
this, that, and the third, and
That's
I
such a
respect
big
that,
word.
and I understand.
Yeah.
However, while you may be fearful of the person overseas, I'm fearful of the person down the block.
yes.
You know, like
Yes.
Yeah, you can be fearful for
Snaps.
both, as long as you acknowledge.
it's we need to
I mean, it's
open
just
that
a very
conversation.
sad situation. We need to pray for him. I don't know what to say about this anymore. I think it's a very sad situation. And why New York City? Why not Maryland?
Yeah.
That's what I thought too. I'm like, why are you taking
Because
the
the media, it's a
The
media
the
place.
attention.
This
True.
was
The
he's
attention.
letting
Yes.
other people know it's
Yep.
okay. Like, go ahead, express your feelings. You know, you're not gonna get, you know, just do it. Go out there and just kill black people because that's exactly what he did. He had a knife. He had a thought out plan, and he turned himself in. And he, you know, I think he did this
I'm just
purposely.
glad there
It
weren't
was a
more
plan.
victims.
I know.
I believe it. I believe it.
Well, switching gears from the sad situation we just talked about, Megan, please tell me about this.
Yes.
Meninism.
So,
Meninism.
Women's History Month, I'm super feminism. I love pro women, et cetera, et cetera. But in the early 2000s, a word came out that I'm not too fond of, Meninist. So, when it initially came out, it meant a male feminist. So, someone who supports feminism, just a male. But I don't know why we need to term that Meninist because there's already enough men words in the world. Side note. So in the early 2010s, when the internet took it too far, it became a term that was criticizing radical feminism. And as Time says, I have an awesome quote by Time, the people who use it, the first group, they're either to call out the ways they believe they've been victimized, so men who've been victimized by women, okay, or people who make fun of the victims for not understanding what feminism is in the first place. So, what do you guys think of feminism?
First of all, I didn't even know what Meninism was until you.
Meninism,
Until.
Sorry, I said that.
I was like, I got a lot to say about that.
I mean, what is it a movement or is it a reaction to feminism?
They want it to be a movement.
Yes, they want
It's just
it to
like
be
a
a
meme.
movement.
It's like an
17-year-old
ongoing
boys
meme.
in high
It's
school
Twitter
JV
hashtags.
football team buying
Yeah.
$14.99
It's
t-shirts
an ongoing meme.
on Big Cartel.
Like that's really how I see it. It's just a
You're all
meme that's been
memes.
going on for a really long
And that
time.
just shows how social media just
Yep.
carries out things and just
Yeah.
just creates.
They had like T-shirts.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, there's
there
T-shirts
was like
men wear.
cis women saying I'm a Meninist. I'm like I believe
Wow.
in Meninism,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
But okay,
There's the door.
let me ask you a question. So, are there actually men out there protesting about how women are oppressing them? Is this what we're?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
on certain
so
college
confused.
campuses. Yeah.
Yep.
Really?
Men will be opposing.
I could be wrong, but I
women's
believe
equality.
UC
Serious?
Berkeley has like a
Yes.
men's rights group.
I knew
Things like
guys
that.
through my high school who did.
to quote
Yeah.
Parks and Rec, men's rights are nothing.
Yes.
Okay.
Another-
Men's had rights the whole entire
Right.
existence. I'm like, men's rights are nothing.
I have another good quote from Urban Dictionary, or one of the old beloveds. So, Meninism is a mockery of feminism and proves that we can't request equality without white men making everything about themselves.
Right.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Simple.
Snaps.
Snaps, yeah, snaps
to
are
Urban
the dictionary. Urban Dictionary, keeping it real.
It's the truth.
So, what is the moral of the story of Meninism?
I don't think there is a story.
No.
There's no story to be told.
Yeah, we're not
Nobody
gonna
showed
give
up.
it
No.
existence.
The moral
It's
is
like-
that everyone deserves equality, not men or
Thank you,
women,
Megan.
both, and of all races, of all everything. And I don't want to hear men deserve more than women and women deserve more than men, because we all deserve equality.
Can we give her a clap for
Done.
that?
And everyone inside and outside of the spectrum.
Exactly.
Indirectly in the
Yes,
middle.
I meant
That's
that
me.
too. Yes,
And
thank you.
I actually learned something from you today, because I had no idea what Meninism was until I had no idea. I just know about feminism because I don't hear about male bashing. Is it like male bashing? But
Male
anyway.
bashing women, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, thanks, Megan, for that awesome sharing on Meninism. Talea, switching gears, new topic. Please tell me about this tweets regarding cultural appropriation. And please give us a definition of cultural appropriation so we all know what it
Ooh, I
means.
feel like I'm in the ALS class right now. I gotta think of some good ways of. Okay, cultural appropriation is when. All right, so diffusion is when something is popular, but then when something is popular and taken out of a culture and is used in another culture, it is cultural appropriation.
And they make it their own.
And they make it
Yep.
their own without giving back that, credit of
Okay.
where it came from. So Aisha too.
Can I clarify one thing?
Yeah.
What if they do give the credit back?
That's
That's all-
appreciation.
That's
But
appreciation.
there's a fine line
Yeah.
between
Yes.
appropriation
Beautiful.
and appreciation.
Yeah, that's a whole
Yeah, don't wear a
nother
hot
topic.
kimono and be on Instagram hashtag appreciation. That's
Right.
appreciation.
All right, but let me get into this. So Aisha too, she's on Twitter. She's an African. She's from African descent. She's Nigerian, I believe. Yes. And so she started this whole thing on Twitter where first I'm gonna just read one of her tweets. She said, "You love to say Black Lives Matter. You mean African American Lives Matter because your BS doesn't care about me or my family in Nigeria." Then she goes on to say, "You mean African," she said, "F Black culture. You mean African American culture, and use it as a weapon to alienate non-American Black people, and you don't even realize it." So she just started just going off about African Americans, and she started to say how African Americans appropriate African culture, like with wearing the dashikis, and that we only really care about African American lives, and that on Black Lives Matter we don't like highlight anything else. So I want to hear some thoughts on that.
Well,
I'm hearing her out. Like she's calling me, and I'm like,
I'm not really picking it up.
I'm like screening the call.
Okay.
It's
okay.
It's like the old Africans versus African Americans debate.
Yeah.
Here's the thing,
How
right?
old is she? Sorry, by the way. Is she, like,
she's
around-
younger, and
yeah.
she was born in America, from what I believe. I was doing a little research, so I don't know where all this is coming from.
A lot of this, a lot of the treatment of Africans from African Americans, and if I could define African Americans, a lot of Black people describe themselves, so they're pushed into that group. African American is a particular ethnic group from they're descendants of the African slaves brought to what we now know as at the continental United States of America. So, because of internalized racism and anti-Blackness within our communities, we've been taught to hate anything that's authentically African or authentically us. So therefore, a lot of African Americans grew up saying things like African booty scratcher, or just thinking anything African or Africa is wrong, or just describing Africa as if it is one unified nation, and not just a bunch of nations with multiple ethnic groups. And to me, it's a very sad debate because, at this point, you know, well, one, in terms of facts, Black Lives Matter has protested for white people. Black Lives Matter has protested for non-African Americans, for queer people, so on and so forth. And in terms of cultural appropriation, I'm appropriating my own culture. You know, my roots come from the west coast of Africa, and I'm just trying to reclaim that. You know, a lot of African Americans, they don't do it always necessarily in the right ways. Yeah. Like, you know, you shouldn't always buy that dashiki from Amazon because it's probably not, the money's probably not going back to
that local vendor in your neighborhood
things like
or
that.
a street fair. That's where I got my dashiki.
And don't just wear, you know, don't just wear a dashiki and be like, oh, this and third. Wear and say, oh, this is from my ethnic group and blah 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 blah. That way, people say, oh, she knows what she's talking about, not just they bought something off Amazon and closed it today.
To me, it sounds like she was just a little bit. She woke up on the wrong side.
She was a little bitter. I mean, everyone has their own opinion and thoughts on what appropriation or cultural. According to thought.com, just to share with you guys before we go, it's most likely to be harmful when the source community is a minority group that has been oppressed or exploited in ways, or when the object of appropriation is particularly sensitive. So everyone has their own ways of thoughts, you know. I mean, I know we have to wrap up, but I have to put this in quick. Kylie Jenner or Kendall? Okay, I know, I'm just gonna say one thing. You
that's
know,
a whole different segment.
That's
a whole different show.
So we know, like a lot of people use.
Yes.
But moving on. Unfortunately, we're running out of time, and we are going to pick up this up next week. When we come back, the Apollo Music Club will be performing for us. Stick around. Woo!